Hi, and welcome to Word Problems 5, the 5th edition of doing word problems. And today we're going to write verbal expressions as math equations. So we're going from words to equations. So you take a look at this, and we've got a situation where we're talking about consecutive numbers. Remember, consecutive numbers are going to be numbers that come one after another. So 5, 6, 7, 8, for instance. Remember, how do you get from one number to the next? Well, you add 1. 5 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 7 plus 1. And if you think about this, consecutive numbers starting at 5, to get to 6, you add 1. To get to 7, you would add 1 twice, or you would add 2. To get to 8, you would add 3. So the ticket when you're doing this is take a look at how many numbers you have that are consecutive numbers, and that's what you're going to be. So in this situation, 6 is just 5 plus 1. 7 is 5 plus 2. 8 is 5 plus 3. 5, 6, 7, 8 are all consecutive numbers. So notice you're adding 1 each time. So keep that in mind. Now, when we have variables, the sum of two consecutive numbers, we're going to use the variable x. So if I have x, the next number is going to be x plus 1 because I'm going 1 up. So x plus 1. The number after that would be x plus 2. The number after that would be x plus 3 because we're going up by 1 each time. Now, this particular problem is only talking about two consecutive numbers. Now, we have the sum of two consecutive numbers. So sum, think plus, we've got two things that we're adding, is equal to 81. So my first number in this situation is going to be x. My second number is going to be x plus 1. So the sum of two consecutive numbers, those numbers being x and x plus 1, is equal to 81, is going to look like that. The sum of three consecutive numbers is equal to 42. So if my three consecutive numbers, if I start with x, the next number up is x plus 1. The next number up, add another 1 to that, is going to be x plus 2. And I'm taking the sum of three things. We're going to add up three things, and it's going to be equal to 42. So what we have is a situation where we've got the first number is x, the second number is x plus 1, and the third number is going to be x plus 2. So we've got first, second, third, three consecutive numbers equals 42. So it's going to be x plus, we've got x plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals 42. So three consecutive numbers equals 42. Given three consecutive numbers, 1/2 of the smallest number plus the largest number is equal to the middle number plus 12. Kind of a lot going on here, but we know that there's going to be three consecutive numbers. So let's start with x, x plus 1, and x plus 2. Now looking into it next, smallest, largest, and middle number. So if you look at this, your smallest number has to be x. It has to be because we're not adding anything to it. Our largest number is going to be x plus 2 because we're adding 2 to x. Our middlest number, or our middle number, is going to be x plus 1. So we have a small, medium, and large. Given three consecutive numbers, 1/2 of, remember this week we talked about when we have a fraction and the word of, it means multiplication. 1/2 of the smallest number, and in this case that's x. So 1/2 times x plus the largest number, and the largest number is going to be x plus 2. 1/2 of the smallest plus the largest is equal to the middle number. So now our x plus 1 is our middle number plus 12. So if we go back and we look at this, this is our smallest number, this is our largest number, and this is our middle number. And 1/2 of the smallest plus the largest is what's going on this side, is equal to the middle plus 12. The sum of two consecutive even numbers is equal to 120. Now remember our conversation last week about this, two consecutive even numbers. So if you have a situation where you've got consecutive numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll start with 6 just because we're at even numbers. 10, Okay, take a look what's happening here. To get from even number to the next even number, we're skipping over 1. So instead of adding 1 to get us to the next number, we need to add 2 to get to the next even number. So we're going to start at 6. We're going to go up to 8. We're going to go up to 10. So in order to get to the next one, I got to say I'm going to add 2. So my first number is going to be x. My next number is going to be x plus 2. The sum of two consecutive even numbers, sum two things, is equal to 120. And what are those two things? Those two things are consecutive numbers, the numbers x and the number x plus 2. So my first number is x, the next even number is going to be 2 above it, and we'll just use parentheses to keep that number together, is going to be equal to 120. The sum of two consecutive odd numbers is equal to 88. So kind of along the same lines here, now just shift it 1. Go up here and let's just shift this 1 over. So let's just say our first number that we're starting with is going to be 5. Okay? So we've got 5 to 7, we're adding 2. 7 to 9, we're adding 2. And then 9 to 11, we're adding 2, and so on and so forth. Well, you can see that you're just going to end up with the same 2. It really depends on what number you're starting with. And in this case, we're assuming x is odd. So the sum of two consecutive odd numbers is equal to 88. So once again, sum, we're adding two things, and it's equal to 88. The sum of two consecutive odd numbers, first one being x, second one being x plus 2, and we're landing on x plus the quantity x plus 2 is equal to 88. So that is word problems 5, the last in the series of word problems, talking about